Howdy! Welcome to Aspire Mountain Academy. I'm Professor Curtis, your instructor for this course in Introductory Statistics. In less than 10 minutes, this video applies the rare event rule to probability distributions and provides more practice in determining usual values. Let's get started. So the rare event rule is something that we use in inferential statistics. Inferential statistics just means we're going to take a sample and then use characteristics of the sample to infer characteristics about the population. We're trying to learn about the population by just taking a sample. So if under a given assumption that the probability of a particular observed event is extremely small, we conclude that the assumption is probably not correct. To me, there's no reason to be, making this rare event rule, because the rare event rule as described here is just common sense. I mean, if you're looking for a probability of something and it turns out to be very small, and that small probability event actually happens, you need to go back and look at your assumptions, because something's probably not right with that. Yes, low probability events do happen, but given the nature of the event, like the example given here, we're assuming that you're flipping a coin, that the coin is fair, but when you get 992 heads and 1,000 tosses, something's not right with that coin. Okay, we would expect that we're going to get 50% heads and 50% tails from 1,000 tosses of the coin. And so 992 is far, far removed from that neighborhood. And so, yeah, we're going to go back and say we need to question that assumption that the coin is actually fair. To me, that's just common sense. But, again, these academics, they have this need to, categorize everything, give everything a name. Here's another example. The result of three girls from 2 births. Well, how do you get 3 girls from 2 births? I mean, according to the given probability distribution, 3 girls should be impossible. However, if one of those births is twins, so you get twin girls, then yeah, something's, not right about our assumption. We were assuming that when you have 2 births, you're only going to have 1 child out of each birth. So this outcome invites us to question the assumption that we had about the births to begin with. So something about that's not correct. And that's all we're saying here with the rare event rule. Here's another example, again, which is what we just looked at, the 992 heads and 1,000 coin tosses. Not very probable for a fair coin. So if this is the result we get, we have to go back to question our assumption that the coin is fair, because it probably isn't. So these are the 2 approaches that we've seen thus far for identifying usual and unusual values. We've got the range rule of thumb, which we talked about in the last mini lecture, and then the rare event rule, which we talked about in this mini lecture. There's another approach, and that's by selecting a threshold probability value. So if you're under the threshold probability value, then you're going to be one way. If you're over the threshold probability value, you're another. So the most commonly chosen threshold probability value is going to be 5%. So here in this case, if we choose 5%, unusually high values will have a probability of X or more successes that's less than 5%. Unusually low values will be that the probability of X or less successes is less than 5%. Notice it's the probability. So we're looking at high values, that's X or more successes, low values, X or less successes. And if that probability is less than 5%, then we would call that unusual. Let's look at an example problem to demonstrate what it is we just talked about. So, is it unusual for a customer to order 4 or more scoops in a waffle cone? I'm going to have to get me a waffle cone, seriously, after making this series of videos. I got to go get one. It just looks so good. Anyway, back to the question. Is it unusual for a customer to order 4 or more scoops of a waffle cone? Well, you can use the range rule of thumb, get your max and min usual values. So when we do that, as we've seen, that the max usual value is 4.289. So 4 is less than that, so therefore it is a usual value. So there's nothing unusual in ordering 4 scoops. Alternatively, we can use a 5% threshold. So we can use the table that's given here, or we can use StatCrunch. What we're looking for is the probability of 4 or more. So if we use the table, all we're doing is just adding up the respective probabilities and then comparing them with 5%. So when we do that, we take the 0.071, add the 0.022, and we get 0.093. And that's 9.3%, which is definitely greater than 5%. So again, we see 4 is a usual value. We use StatCrunch. We can use our distribution calculator and get the same number out. Notice we're getting the same probability out, 0.093. It may be worth your while to just add the numbers up from the table instead of trying to dump everything in StatCrunch and using the calculator there. It's probably a lot quicker to just take your hand calculator, or with these numbers, you can easily add it up in your head. 1 and 2 make 3, 7 and 2 make 9, 0.093. But, if you really want to use StatCrunch, go for it. It's there for you. Either way, you're getting a probability that's greater than 5%, so the value of 4 is usual. Now, which of these probabilities is more relevant for determining whether ordering 4 scoops in a waffle cone is unusually low? Ordering exactly 4 scoops or ordering 4 or more scoops? Well, as we saw, the probability of ordering exactly 4 scoops is 0.071. The probability of ordering 4 or more scoops is 0.093. Now, which is the more relevant in determining whether or not a value is usual or unusual? We'll look at it this way. The definition of unusual means that we're talking about values which are more or less than a threshold value. And when you consider that definition, it should become clear that the probability of ordering 4 or more scoops is the more relevant probability. Unusual is more or less than a threshold, so the probability of exactly 4 or whatever number is not going to be as relevant as the probability of 4 or more. It's that or more part that makes the second probability, the 0.093, the more relevant one. Now, one more final note. We actually saw this in an earlier mini lecture, but I just wanted to remind you, when you see 0 plus listed as a probability value in a table, it just means that the probability there is not 0, but is very close to it. So, from a practical standpoint, just consider that to be 0 when you're performing your calculations and answering questions. And that brings us to the end of this mini lecture. I hope you found it helpful. You can find more mini lectures for this and other courses at AspireMountainAcademy.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.